What's up, everybody? We're live, underground crypto deep dive show. It's Friday. We got a fun one for you. It's going to be gaming blockchains, right? Waiting for it to pop up, do the little audio check. A little bit petrified since that one time we had some audio issues and I didn't realize it right away. So now we are always making sure our audio is good. All right, and have to kill the audio. All right, now we're good to go. So today we're going to be going over GameFi type stuff, right? And we're going to start here at crypto bubbles. Don't you just love the crypto bubbles? I love the idea of taking data that maybe would scare most people and making it really easy in a visual way. Definitely need to hit some of this drink before we get going here. Give a moment for everybody to hop in, for people to hop in, whoever's coming. And we're going to take a look at the state of the market kind of thing just for a moment because it matters. Even when you're deep diving or you're long-term holding, still should probably keep at least somewhat of a touch on what the market is doing, at least on a weekly basis, right? For me, it's more of a day-to-day because I like to know what's going on and not be the last one to the party all the time. So it looks like meme core, again, pump.fun, 10%. This is on the daily. ENA, which is Athena. I thought so, but I did not want to misspeak there. And on the hour, we got Neoxo, Sky again. Sky, I know, is incorporated with Spark, which Spark has had a nice little pump in the last, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It was really popular. I don't hear anybody talking about it today. Or yesterday, for that matter. So that looks like, and then WLFI getting a little bit of a relief. Let's go back to the daily. Does that even show up? No. Okay, so it's like down 1% on the day and up 1% on the hour. So is that finally starting to turn around? Are they done beating that coin down? Are they going to let that thing run? I think it will run at some point, for sure. Too much big money involved there, right? So let's hop over to our usual. Let's refresh it, make sure that it is up to date. So the total market cap of the entire market, always worth noting, 3.9. So we haven't really regained that $4 trillion mark, right? But I think it's coming probably in the next few days. We got rate, cuts potentially coming, maybe even a double cut. It's on the table, but nobody knows for sure. Bitcoin sitting at 110,689. It's holding, it seems like every day. It's like up a couple thousand, down a couple of thousand, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or vice versa. And so it's kind of hanging out, right? We haven't seen a major dump yet. It might just recover, and we might just forget all about this in a couple of days. Or it might be a couple weeks. Anyways, Ethereum, 4,317. Not too bad. Again, for me, Ethereum above 4,000 is great. I like to see XRP above $3. I'm going to do another little mic check here. I swear I don't do it too many times throughout the stream. Just want to double check there. So XRP above $3 is really good spot for me, but it's at $2.81. It's close. Let's hope it doesn't go down anymore. BNB, $850. Solana above 200. For me, that's like Ethereum being above 4,000. None of this is financial advice. These are my opinions and feelings about price, right? 21 cents for Dogecoin. Cardano at 83 cents. Chainlink at $22.39. And I usually stop here at Hyperlink, $47.50. Hyper, one of the strongest looking coins in the game and has been for a while. But what's trending, right? Are there some new coins for us to look at? Maybe some new narratives or categories? They do pop up sometimes, even though we can fit most things in a category, right? Of course, World Liberty Finance, #1 trending there. It hasn't even been around 7 days yet, so we don't even have a 7-day thing. We kind of already looked at it at Bubble Maps, right? So we don't need to look at it too much more. So OpenVPP, we're just going to go down to categories. It says energy. So this is a DPIN. There's that word. Hopefully somebody watched the stream that we did yesterday and knows what DPIN means. Infrastructure, right? Decentralized infrastructure is what DPIN stands for. And this is in the energy sector. So I am going to pop over the website for half a second and just see what they're talking about. The first decentralized payment and tokenization for the $10 trillion global electric utility industry. It's one of those things that I feel like is, kind of inevitable that this is going to be a reality. Your whole, paying for carbon credits and stuff. I'm not a big fan of that kind of narrative, but I would not be afraid to speculate that it's coming, right? And anybody who's hopping in, hit that like, share, subscribe. If you're watching this later and we're not live, I still appreciate you regardless hitting that like button and more of that subscribe button. So let's get out of that. We're looking at what's trending. We're going to be going over gaming blockchain. Gaming blockchain is the category of the day. Why do I have to hit? Only when I'm live do I have to hit the back button like 17 times to get it to go back. Never does that normally. So you have Athena. For those who don't know what Athena is, let's go down to its categories. Decentralized finance, DeFi, right? And then we got Binance Launch Pool. That's pretty awesome. World Liberty portfolio. So that makes it somewhat relevant. Now that World Liberty is kind of fully been rolled out, you're going to start seeing that portfolio on different coins. Some people like to follow portfolios of big players like that. I don't think that's necessarily wrong, and I would never tell you what to do with your money, but that is to me more of like a TradFi thing to do, more of a stock world thing to do. But it has $5.3 billion in its market cap, so it must be high up there, number 38 by market cap, sitting at 74 cents. Max chart says Athena's been at least tracked on CoinGecko since April 1st, 2024. Pretty cool. So let's see. Pudgy Penguins. I'm sure you know what Pudgy Penguins is. It's been trending. Not surprising. They hinted at some metaverse. I do have a pre-recorded video of Pudgy Penguins. I don't know when I'm going to stop telling you guys that, but go watch it and you will see why their NFTs just soared out of nowhere all of a sudden. Hyperliquid. This Somnia, this one keeps coming up, right? We keep seeing this pop up. If we go to the max, hasn't been around very long. September 2nd, 2025. So we're talking 3 days ago. We will go to its categories. It is a layer 1, and it is a gaming blockchain. Did I do that on purpose? No, actually I didn't. But it's very relevant. So we're going to go ahead and look at their website. I don't know if you guys can tell, but today I'm pretty fired up. I'm ready to go. I do love what I do. I do love deep diving crypto projects, and I especially love gaming in blockchain. Play to earn is such a great narrative. This website is so cool every time I go to it. It reminds me of a map, in a video game where like all the things kind of show up on the side as arrows, and then you run towards it until you eventually get there kind of thing. Pretty cool. So last time I was actually on this website, I said hopefully we're going to get an opportunity to deep dive it because we were looking at DPIN yesterday and it wasn't very relevant, but I think it is pretty relevant now. But right before we do that, I kind of want to show you guys something else as well that I find pretty interesting. Don't look at all my tabs. If you don't know what one tab is on the Google Chrome browser, you are absolutely missing out. So they have this thing called tweetscout.io. And I'm looking at all these different tools, so I don't have them all completely mapped out yet of how I'm going to use them, but definitely going to use them. Hopefully it just logs me right in and I don't have to do anything like that. Cool. All right. So it's more about what's trending over on Twitter, and that's why it's called Tweet Scout. A little self-explanatory, but I'll map it together for anybody who doesn't really get what's going on. So we have these collector crypt, piggy sell, and then it even gives you like a rating, how credible they are, how many followers they've gained or lost. Pretty interesting. We'll probably be integrating this a little bit more. We went over this collectors thing. It's more like a card collecting kind of thing if you're into that, where you send it in and then they make a digital copy of it and they hold on and authenticate it for you, which are all things that if you're in that kind of world of selling and trading cards is pretty cool. And then they'll hold on to it and you can sell it to other people and it can move all around. And then I guess hopefully at some point somebody, if they want to, can have them actually send the real copy over. or they're just going to hold everything. But anyways, that's what that is. Piggy sell, and we're not going to go into all of these because we are going to be talking about GameFi. I just wanted to show you some of these cool tools that I'm going to be building into this show as we go, just like the bubble maps that we were looking at. I really wanted to look at the weekly bubble map. All right, got a few people in here. Hit that like, share, subscribe button, guys. We're going to be going over gaming blockchain pretty shortly here. So right off the bat, our first one that we just came across while we were looking at what was trending is Somnia. Now, Somnia builds everything on chain, the fastest EVM, Ethereum Virtual Machine, compatible layer 1 blockchain. Could explore the mainnet. You could start building. And then let's see what else we got. So they have a blog. We're not going to dive their blog right this second, but it is pretty cool they got that for some more information. The guild, right? Because it's gaming, you got to have a guild, which would be like your Discord. The Explorer, because this is a layer 1. Now, one thing I do want to say that is not financial advice, but is worth saying, layer 1s historically have been some of the best returning on your speculation, if you understand what I'm saying. Best returns out there. Of course, there's some meme coins that have done really crazy numbers if you got in, but most people wouldn't have bought the meme coins that did really well when they were like under $1 million in market cap. So you can get grants if you're a builder. Obviously start building. That'll take you to the accelerator where you can get some momentum for whatever you're building and how we help you build. This is really cool. Again, this thing has been out for at least live mainnet kind of thing for like 3 days. Their website's pretty awesome. We look at a lot of websites here at Underground Crypto, so I got to give them credit where credit is due. One of these is ecosystem. All right, show me. I do want to check out the ecosystem, because if this is the L1, then where are all the projects? And wow. Okay, at first I thought these were all going to be games, and I was just like, wow, they already have this many games? That is insane. So Anchor, we're going to need to zoom in, because they got this writing super tiny. Anchor is all-in-one Web3 developer hub. So Anchor is in a game. We got, what is that, Believer? Believer is an innovative NFT launchpad. These are all things that are within the ecosystem. So if we're talking GameFi, talking blockchain gaming or play-to-earn gaming, we got to kind of maybe know what is inside of this brand new ecosystem that came out. What other new stuff has come over here? I'm sure a lot of these projects, if not all of them, have already been around and have just become part of this layer 1. So we got Galleon, which is a fully automated multi-Web3 operating system. This is all like infrastructure backbone type stuff for gaming. So Game3S.gg is the leading Web3 gaming super app global gaming agencies. How many of you guys have actually played a Web3 game? You know, has anybody done that? Where you go and you gotta like actually, you know, be signed into your wallet, MetaMask or something like that. No username, password kind of thing. It just knows who you are with your account based off your wallet. You go to the website, you give it permission, it connects, and then you're in the game. And because your wallet's connected, you know, whatever money you have in your wallet you want to use for transactions and stuff, it's all right there. So there's lots of cool things in this. I would like to see more actual games. Okay, these say gaming. So you have CZ Runs, which I believe I saw touted somewhere else. Probably was affiliated with this project. You got Dark Table, CCG. What's the purple ones? Infrastructure. Okay, I like how they're labeled. AI, social. See all the games. That's the one I really am interested. So Galactus Labs and Hyperplane. And this is all under Somnia. We won't go too crazy with the sauce right this second, because there's still a few more things that I wanted to cover before we really get into it. So that's kind of in the world of what's trending. Bio Protocol trending. We did go over this probably 5, 6, 7 days ago when it had just started trending. That is in your decentralized science narrative or category, if you want to put it that way. I'd say that's more the category, decentralized science, and then its actual niche. See if they give us anything in our categories down here. A Binance launch pool, decentralized science. Okay. Let's go to their website real quick. Because I think there was something specific that they were doing. So the bio protocol is D-size new, and D-size is kind of the shortened term for decentralized science. New financial layer engineered to commercialize the best science faster. And that's just the whole thing. It's about maybe being able to trust some of the science because it is decentralized and everything's on the blockchain for everybody to look at. So everybody trusts it. Moving forward here, let's look at top gainers, top losers. We're not going to spend a ton of time on it unless we see, well, we're not going to spend a ton of time on it. But if we see a project we don't know, it's kind of in our deep dive research wheelhouse to go check it out, right? So right off the bat, NetMine token is up 70%. Would like to know what that is. And I want to say, where is everybody on a Friday night? But I know where everybody's at on a Friday night. In my opinion, that's why a lot of times we stay winning, is because we stay focused while a lot of other people are, just wanting to have fun. Everybody wants to have fun, but sometimes we have too much fun and not enough focus. NetMine token, 69 cents. What is it, though? It says .ai, so it must be artificial intelligence. It's DPIN. Wow. Hitting that DPIN category. Even though I went over it yesterday and I felt like a lot of people didn't engage, a lot of people didn't tune in and look at it. DPIN is probably something most people think is super techy and super hard for them to get into or understand. And in crypto, I just want to say for 2 seconds, a lot of things are definitions. You just don't know definitions of things. And if you knew what the words meant, a lot of the time, they would not really be confusing at all because they're not crazy concepts. It's just a new world of decentralization, and therefore you're going to get new words that you need to know the definitions of. Net of the future, powered by AI. We're not going to spend a ton of time. It is AI. It is AI agent. How many of you guys wish that you knew more about a bot? Whether you're a trader and you wish you had a trading bot, whether you're, an influencer of some sort and you wish you had bots to farm engagement. All of those different things. Let me check my audio. All right. For some reason, it kind of looked out of the corner of my eye like the video was lit and a little laggy. If it is, I'm sorry about that, but the audio is coming through clear. Experience the power of DeepSeek R1 for free. So this is, I guess, DeepSeek is what is behind this. DeepSeek. There's a lot of things you could say about DeepSeek. I will probably save that for an AI stream. We've done them before. I'm sure we'll do them again. Redstone. What is Redstone? Do you know what this coin is? First of all, how long has it been out is a good one to start with. March 5th, 2025, $181.2 million in its market cap. Finance. So it's finance, it's infrastructure, it's an Oracle. Can you name me another huge top player coin that is an Oracle? Did you say Chainlink? Yes, Chainlink. So oracles can do very well, have staying power, be around for a long time. Chainlink has proven that. And Chainlink, of course, just a side note, and it's tapping in RWAs, that narrative. It's going to do well for itself in the next season or the next bull run, in my opinion. I think it's got staying power. So Pump BTC, probably a meme coin. Nero on ETH. These are our top losers. Top loser of the day is only 16.7%. That's really not that bad. Act. Not sure what it is. But we spent plenty of time on this. So let's go ahead and jump over to our gaming blockchain coins. Now, I think this is going to be a little bit more interactive and a little more fun because we're probably going to have some games and things to look at. At least hopefully they made their websites interesting, right? And I've got a couple in mind. Let's see, it's got to be in here. One of my favorites, Mobox. All right, how many people know about Mobox? I'm always kind of surprised how many people have no idea about Mobox. They have a mobile app that works really well. They have farming and all kinds of stuff. They've been around for a long time. They've gone through bear markets and still existed, where many of the other gaming, projects that I was a part of totally went bankrupt and fell apart. Mobox stayed. So that's kind of a gem that's going to be coming down the line a little bit later. Mobox, to me, is a gem. I've invested a decent amount of money into it just because I enjoy it. And, we're going to go from there. But first, let us talk about DPIN. No, I'm just kidding. It says DPIN at the top, but that's not what we're talking about. So let's talk about blockchain a little bit. Blockchain gaming, that is, of course, what I meant. What blockchain gaming means and how NFTs, play to earn, and crypto economies fit in. How many people have no idea what blockchain gaming is or how it differs from just regular gaming? How is this different from Sony PlayStation? You know, how is this different from Nintendo, your Switch? Like, how is this different? That's kind of what we want to break down. So there's some basic things for you. We don't want to make this too long. So definition and player ownership. Blockchain games prioritize true player ownership of in-game items via NFTs, unique digital assets stored on blockchain, transferable and tradable across platforms. Now, if you're a gamer, I don't know, this should get you excited. The concept of I'm playing a game, maybe you're a high level in some kind of game, and you get a really awesome weapon or a piece of armor. Well, that's awesome in that game and stuff, but as far as something cool, it's something cool you can use in the game, but what if that meant dollar signs? What if you could build out a crazy character and when you decided, I don't really want to play this game anymore, they're coming out with all kinds of new games, could it transfer with you to a new game? That would be really sick application of earning your own, it being an NFT, and maybe it being integrated into maybe the next version of the game, right? When they come out with whatever it is, 2 or 3. You could take your stuff with you. That would be super awesome. Or, you know, you get tired of the game, you've been playing it for years, better games are out there, and so you sell all of it, and you actually have some kind of value for all the time that you've spent playing a certain game. I think those kind of ideas and concepts are really interesting for anybody who enjoys playing video games at any level, right? Any kind of video game. That's another great thing about it. It doesn't really matter what kind of games you play. So play to earn gaming, or P2E model, game rewards players with real world value like cryptocurrency or NFTs. I wanted to read that totally different. For gameplay milestones, creating incentives beyond entertainment. So these games integrate crypto economies. So we're talking about economies and decentralization, using tokens and NFTs to enable opening, trading, and speculative markets. Basically, there's a market, you're able to sell your NFTs, your items, and even your coins that you earn in the game is going to get you, you know, some real world exchange, right? You just take it to your decentralized exchange, swap whatever it is. You know, think of like a giant game that's been around for forever, like RuneScape or World of Warcraft or anything like that. World of Warcraft, I'm pretty sure, uses like gold and silver. What if that gold was like worth 25 cents a piece? And you just realized how much of it you have sitting on your account. And it would probably work really well because there'd probably be lots of people in the game or new to the game who would be buying it. So there would actually be money flowing in and money flowing out. Be like a real currency. How blockchains are changing game ownership, monetization, and player incentive. We kind of already touched on this. Digital ownership is really the thing. For a lot of maybe newer kids or people who have young kids, Fortnite, they're all playing Fortnite. My son was always wanting to play Fortnite. The skins and stuff, you spend money for them. Wouldn't it be awesome if they could, you know, you get a skin right when it drops. 5 years from now, that skin is OG and everybody wants it, and you bought it for $5, $6, $7 and you're selling it for 50, 60, 80 or more dollars. That just seems like a win to me, right? That just seems like getting more bang for our buck in general. I don't know how these things, honestly, I don't know how these things already don't exist, other than maybe they're not good for the big players in the game who already run everything, right? And what does that fit into? DPIN that we were talking to yesterday, the narrative of DPIN is all about shaking up the old players of old systems and monopolies and getting it so new players can come in, fresh blood, and new ideas can emerge, and kind of the stranglehold on control can be shaken up a little bit. And even developers can earn, this is interesting, I'm not a developer, so it'll never suit me much, but developers can earn NFTs that could generate royalties on resales and things that they worked on. It's a good way to pay people to build things, kind of it with their payment coming in the future. So if I wanted to build a really cool game and blockchain gaming was doing really well, I could say, hey, everybody, I don't really have a ton of money to get this game up and going, but I'm going to give everybody NFTs that are linked to the things that you worked on, and a certain percentage is going to go to you if you're willing to come sit down at the table and help us make this happen. I think that is an awesome narrative and idea for entrepreneurs who want to be advancing in this space, right? And then, of course, incentivizing engagement. Play to earn model rewards players for gameplay, participation, or even governance via DAOs. And then it just talks about some of the top games, CryptoKitties, if you know what it is. One of the first, 2017, when did Bitcoin come out? So your first really, and that was like a rhetorical question. CryptoKitties, probably one of the first blockchains. Yeah, one of the earliest blockchain games that were out. And of course, blockchain games started relatively, simple, and they're progressively getting better and better and better. All right, so now that we've gone over what blockchain gaming is and why it even matters, if you're a gamer and you're not even involved in blockchain at all, maybe you don't hold crypto, maybe you don't care about crypto at all, this is something that you can finally get excited with a little bit with your buddy who will not stop talking to you about crypto, even though all you want to do is play Modern Warfare and Call of Duty. You don't want to talk about crypto, but he sure does. So Immutable X. And these are all by market cap, right? So this has $1 billion in its market cap. Everything's on the max chart. So every chart looks like you want to run for the hills. But really, this is crypto. We go through bear markets. Price goes down. Things are overvalued when they come out. All those different things. November 4th, 2021. So this thing's been around since 2021. I probably hold a tiny bit of it somewhere. I'm sure I probably do. We don't need to go to categories because we know it's gaming. That's what we're talking about here. So the universal gaming token. Gaming is inevitable with a massive global economy with billions of players. Okay, if you're a gamer, you knew that. IMX is the easiest way to get involved. So they claim every single gaming project's probably going to claim the same thing, right? Trading rewards extended. So trading rewards programs will be extended on Immutable X, ZK EVM, Zero Knowledge Ethereum Virtual Machine, starting 7 March. Wouldn't that be March 7th? This gotta be like European or something like that. We're here in America. We don't say it like that. Liquidity rewards. Digital Worlds Foundation is supporting the newly launched Immutable X ZK EVM chain, so that's a whole different chain, I guess, by providing IMX rewards for liquidity providers. In the game of crypto, even in gaming, everything is still all about liquidity. So I thought they'd give us a little bit more there. There's staking, there's governance, IMX as a gas, and rewards. Rewards probably the most interesting to most people here. Perpetual rewards. Thought they would show us some games, right? I hear about Immutable X all the time. Seems like it's more infrastructure. Seems like it's more kind of something that helps run the games that you're actually playing, right? And do you know what Mobox is? I will be throwing that as a little bit of gem later on. I mean, in my opinion, it's survived on Binance Smart Chain through bear market. That shows some staying power. They have a mobile app. I'm not just talking about it because I own some. I will be completely transparent that I do own some. Have for a long time. One of the first things I ever messed with during that DeFi summer where everybody was going crazy for DeFi gaming, play to earn gaming. March 16th, 2022, we're talking about ApeCoin. That's when it came out. Let's go to their website. Hopefully ApeCoin is a little bit more entertaining of a website. You would think if you are a gaming, it's like a trailer, right, that you would watch for a new game. Like, does anybody ever go on Steam or a PlayStation store and just like watch trailers because they're bored and they want a new game? You would think that they would do something like that on these websites. Like, what is this? This coin is spinning. I know I've been to this website before. Let's go to About. So ApeCoin is for the Web3 economy. Do you know what ApeCoin is? Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, anybody? ApeCoin is for the Web3 economy. Culture has found new expression in the Web3 through art, gaming, entertainment, and events. The possibility for blockchain impact on culture are so endless that they can't possibly all be predicted yet. Ape is a token that is made to support what's next. Controlled and built by the community, it will serve as a decentralized protocol layer for community-led initiatives that drive culture forward into the metaverse. Now, one thing I want to say about ApeCoin, because when this thing blew up, a lot of people were like, why in the world are people paying multiple millions of dollars for ApeCoins? Mostly because they were tied into, Discords and different telegrams and chats that had very influential celebrities and people in them, and you were basically buying that NFT to get access. I've had that explained to me by some people who were a part of that kind of movement, and it makes a lot of sense. That's why some people are willing to pay $1 million to shill their company or try to get some celebrity as an endorsement. But anyways, aside from that, they've done pretty cool because I know that they have been building a metaverse. So you have gaming, right? But then you kind of have the next leap in the gaming, which is metaverse. And that brings all kinds of concepts up like virtual reality, augmented reality. What is the difference between virtual reality and augmented reality? It's pretty simple, really. Virtual reality is like something you put over your face and you block out all of the real world and you just input a virtual reality. Augmented reality is like you can still see the real world, but there is a layer over it, maybe for some, through some glasses or something like that, that augments or adds a, digital presence. You got a little screen popping up on your glasses while you're looking at the TV, something like that. Somebody out there was wondering. The Ape Foundation. So I really want to know more. Okay, so here's the apes. They look like simple NFTs. To somebody who's not in crypto, they're probably thinking, what the heck this looks like. Maybe my profile character for like an account I have somewhere in a gaming world. So what I really want to see is I really wanted to see some more about their metaverse. That was kind of what I thought might be exciting here. Of course, metaverses vary in range of what they actually are, how immersive they are, and how much work has been put into them. And remember, all of this stuff is very new. This is all very tokenomics. A lot of people probably not very interested in that. ApeCoin claiming for BACE and Macy holders. Not 100% sure what that is. I probably should know what that is, but I don't. I'm really looking for something specific here, guys, so I apologize if I'm scrolling through a lot of stuff and not reading it. We read about what it was. Proposals, delegate, buy and sell marketplace, maybe. I really thought we were going to get a look at their metaverse. Has their metaverse actually rolled out yet? I was under the impression that their metaverse has already rolled out for Ape, and I don't know if it has. Press inquiries. All right. Well, not exactly finding what I want, but they are in the world of gaming, as I believe they are going to be launching a metaverse. Can't think of any other reason why this would come up as gaming when GameFi, when they're really more just NFTs, right? So again, that's a little disappointing. A lot of these things are very new in building. Before we go through a bunch of these that are maybe not going to show you any kind of game. And here's another one, WaxP. Do you know what WaxP is? 0 transaction fees, so you can use it and do things without having to spend a bunch of money just to do stuff. Let's go take a look at Mobox, because I feel like Mobox is really interesting. If you look all the way back at the beginning of my channel, I did a couple videos on Mobox, and it didn't get a lot of engagement, but I was a brand new channel with like no videos, so I don't know what I was expecting at that point. 2021, so this thing has been around for, roughly 4 years. It's pretty good for a gaming concept that's been around that far back. At one point, their token was worth... What did I do? I messed everything up somehow. Let's reload it. I messed the chart up. Let's see. At one point, it was worth... Won't let me zoom in. From my memory, it was worth like upwards to about $20, $15 to $18 at one point. Now it's down to 5 cents. Not surprising. It's almost like everything. Oh, they're on Arbitrum too. That's right. Forgot about that. Let's go take a look at their website. So Mobox is really cool because they actually have some things built out, right? And I wish I had it hooked up to my other computer and stuff, and I could actually really show you all the things that I have on here, but we're just going to go over core concepts and not completely geek out over one project. So first of all, we'll go to the farmer. Now, the farmer is like any other farmer. It's staking in a nutshell. We're not going to connect. And so, you get these boxes, you open them, they have NFTs, they're little what they call momos, characters. They're what you use in all of the different games and their metaverse. And then it goes into this farming or mining camp, and it generates you the max token, which you can also generate by staking. And you can buy these boxes, or you can just go directly over to their market. So the marketplace, you can see, right now, $1.80. And you can even in their metaverse, just to give you a little bit of a snapshot before we get there, you can actually even win these and sell them. So right there, there's an ability to make a little bit of money here. I remember when a lot of these things were worth way more than they are right now. So let's see if we can go by rarity so I can show you like some really cool ones. Yeah, let's go to like legendary. Wow. So I remember when the legendaries were $20, $30, $40, $50,000. Right now, you can get one for $1,800. That's a very small. So up in the corner, you can see these mining rate on these NFTs, and that's kind of gives you an idea how much it's going to earn you in the actual mining camp that I just showed you, where all your NFTs kind of automatically go. You used to have to actually stake them over there. Now they automatically do it. But let's look at like epics, because there's only 2 legendaries, and a lot of times there's no legendaries. So you can see they have really crazy mining power. You can get them for, let's make our price in order here. So yeah, it looks like you can get one as low as $26, which is a pretty good deal for what they've cost in the past. And if these things begin to blow up again, they could appreciate very fast. The price on these seem to move and fluctuate pretty quickly. So anyways, that's the idea. You have these momos. They have all kinds of different designs. These all look like people, but a lot of them look like animals. Maybe we need to go to a different class real quick so I can give you an idea what most of them look like. Yeah, most of them look like animals, right? And they have different categories and stuff. Pretty cool. And you can go to the different games that are over here. Probably start off with, say, Token Master. So Token Master is a pretty simple one, pretty simple game, but I've won, plenty of Mobox tokens with this, basically like farming, where, you basically just fight against other people. And because I'm not signed in, it's not going to show you. So that's a little disappointing. Probably should have had this all set up for you, but I don't even know how I would have done that, as all of my information is on a different computer. But anyways, that's a really simple game where you can mostly just fight against other people. They have this mode Dragon, which kind of has like a metaverse to it. And then you have this Dragon verse that goes hand in hand. This is a totally, like an ROPG or something like that. I don't know, like World of Warcraft. I don't know why the term is not coming to my mind. I definitely know what it is. But anyways, it's got a whole little world that they're building out, which is pretty cool. I really wanted to show you the verse. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to without a wallet, but I guess to not geek out too much on it, just kind of want to show you basically what it's like. Do they have a YouTube channel? That would be really useful at this moment, wouldn't it? So let's hop back over to CoinGecko. Let's go to their Twitter. Maybe they'll have a little bit more information on their Twitter. I'm just, again, one of the reasons why I'm kind of a big supporter of Mobox is just the simple fact that they were able to survive on Binance Smart Chain through the bear market, have a mobile app, and didn't just fold. I watched so many promising gaming projects just fold, and it was a little sad to see, especially because I had money invested in a few of them. So here's kind of a snapshot of what I was talking about. The MMORPG, I think, is what you normally would call them. There's a couple different variations of them. Pretty cool, though. They really should have more videos of their like actual game, because they have a whole little metaverse, and in the metaverse you can run around. Here's a little bit of some show of the MMORPG here. Say that a bunch of times quickly. They do burn the token, so that is good for the tokenomics of the token. All right, not finding what I wanted. I wanted something to do with their metaverse, and everything is just more about their Dragonverse that they've been building out, Dragonverse Neo, which I've got on and played. It's kind of fun. I got into it way before it was really built out, so it was a little clunky for a little bit, but now they've got it pretty well straightened out. All right, so that's what we're going to end there because I'm not finding what I wanted. I was really digging for it. They got 393.9 thousand followers. Not too small. At least a few people know about them. I don't know why I'm going to my Twitter. Appreciate anybody who's here. Like, share, and subscribe. Looks like a decent game. Yeah, Mr. Clown Baby. Appreciate you being here, by the way, and somebody dropping a comment and engaging. Yeah, it looks like a decent game. They have several. I wish that I had it maybe a little more set up to show you. Maybe I'll do that on another day. Well, I'm sure we'll do this GameFi again. I might start doing this on most Fridays if anybody wants to kind of mental note of that and come back. We'll be doing a lot more of this and playing things like over here. I got Gala Games up. Was playing, Townstar or whatever. Of course, it doesn't like when you're not on the page. It always goes away. So you got to give that a minute to load. I'll show it in a minute. But there's all kinds of cool opportunities. There's Telegram games. We could do quite a few of these streams and show off some games. And if you have a little bit of spare chain and you want to get into something like Mobox, wow, the market has been pretty down. It's a good time too. Now here's another one. This is called Guns. We found this actually the other day deep diving, a testimony to why we deep dive, right? And it's not actually a game. Let's go to the website so I don't misspeak here. It's not a game itself. So there is a game, and then this is kind of coming like alongside it. Let's see. It's called Guns, and so is the game. So it's powered by Gunzilla, right? Gunzilla, I believe, is the actual game. I have a decently new gaming computer, and it can't even run the game. So it tells you like how decked out it is, and I have all the settings as low as they go, and I still can't even really start the game. Kind of like Call of Duty, Fortnite kind of setup where you get dropped in a map and everybody has to fight each other, except for there's all kinds of different twists. They had a really cool trailer on here. Let's put this out. But Guns itself is really, before I start this, Guns itself is really just trying to make it so there's a marketplace, like we talked about, owning your own things digitally in the game, where people can buy and sell and trade and stuff like that. If anybody wants to let me know how loud this is or isn't.
Well, we finally completed it. And we are ready.
This game looks pretty sick, though. And the graphics look really good.
Welcome to the ultimate real-life gaming arena. It's all the thrill.
I doubt we're going to watch this entire trailer just because I don't want to bore anybody. But it was really interesting how they wanted to cut everybody's arms and legs off and then replace them with robotic arms and legs. And just like you would get, guns in the game, like you can also get different legs and arms that do stuff. So that adds a whole different idea. How many people want to see the full trailer? Put that in the comments. Do you wish I would not talk over the trailer? Is it laggy for anybody, or is that just my computer?
These people are just regular folks who have opted into total madness.
Technicians can literally
See if it's any better if I make it smaller.
Even extreme fatalities, they can regrow the patient from base tissue.
All right, I'm going to pause that as I can see it is messing up the stream. That really sucks because I wish we could play that a little more flawlessly. Hopefully nobody hopped off. We'll give it a second and let it kind of restore itself. The connection, dwindle down. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Just give it a second. Yeah, sorry about that, Clown Baby, that it is lagging the stream a little bit. I don't know why. I really don't have that much stuff running, and this is a good, computer. Who knows? Never can get enough bandwidth. Just upgraded the internet and everything, and you still have issues. You can never win. You just pay more money, right? So what is Guns? In current free-to-play game, right? So you can just download this actually on Steam. If you look up Gunzilla, you will be able to find it. Yep, I lost a bunch of the people that I got on here. What is Guns? It's a current free-to-play game. You don't truly own the items you purchase or loot. If you accidentally get banned or simply stop playing, you lose all the value. Guns is here to reinvent the system. You can now own and trade items you loot if you want. The first ever platform in a AAA game, and the game does look outstanding. It is very much like a AAA game. Because when I tried to play it, it looked very much like the trailer. The graphics were really good. NFTs inside the game marketplace and elsewhere. So I'm not really... The one thing I'm a little confused about is Guns something that is a separate company that is working with them that maybe will work with other games as well? Or is Guns literally an extension of Gunzilla? It would make sense by name that you literally, is only going to be a part of Gunzilla and not really a part of other things. But I would love to see this idea repeated for a lot of things. Like, can you imagine if they did this? Everybody talks about Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out and having something to do with crypto NFTs, stuff like that. But even other games would do really well with this as well. Pretty much any game you can think of could do really well with this. Like, say, Call of Duty. If the next Call of Duty had guns and NFTs and all kinds of stuff like that, skins that were owned by the people, that would probably make it pop, but it would probably bring a lot of people over to crypto. It'd start exposing them to crypto. So that's really cool. So this game here is called Townstar. It's over on Gala Games. Just kind of wanted to show it to you for a second. Not something I play a lot. But this is kind of more like your average everyday play. And then they have like tournaments. And from my knowledge, that's pretty much when you win stuff. I've been just trying to figure out the game before I ever try to enter into like an actual tournament or anything like that. And it's pretty simple. You slowly click these little squares and buy more land. It's a farm, I guess. There was a really popular game that it seemed like everybody and their grandmother was playing at one point. I think it was like Farmville. I might be mixing it up with another game. But anyway, it's the same idea. You farm stuff, you grow it, you turn sugar cane into sugar. Click this little truck, you go to sell. You have the stuff that you would have made. You sold it, you get money, you expand, you continue to build all of those different things. And you just kind of rinse and repeat. It's not, I guess it is an idle game in some ways, Now, Gala Games has other things, right? This is not all Gala Games is. Gala Games has been around for a long time. And as I do this live stream, I'm really realizing how many of these live streams we could do. Because there are so many games that I used to play back in the day. I remember one was like you were in a desert and you had all these different cars that shot rockets and stuff. And then there'd be like these little gas stations. I want to remember what that is. I'll have to find it. And then when you got to the gas station, it'd give you like a little bit of Ethereum, right? It'd be like $2 worth of Ethereum or 50 cents worth of Ethereum. It wasn't the same all the time. And then you had to make it all the way back to your base to like keep it. And there'd be all kinds of people, and they were buying all kinds of crazy guns and cars on OpenSeas as NFTs to use and mine the most money. It was pretty wild. It really was pretty interesting. Anyways, I'll find that maybe for next Friday. Right? Hey, at least you know what I'm talking about, right? Also, I don't know if I've ever seen you in here. We do have a Discord link in the description. It's new. I'm building it. I'll be transparent about that. There's only a few interactive people in there, but it's going to keep getting built. If you're into a lot of GameFi, I've been deep diving a lot of Telegram games and, farming airdrops by playing the Telegram games over there. And so I will be posting a lot of stuff over there, or if there's any conversations or questions you ever want to ask me, it's just a good way to have access to me in the community that I'm building. feel free to check that out. So let's go right to their games tag, right? Because I think that's what anybody who's watching this really wants to see. Of course, I want to talk more crypto stuff as much as I love gaming, but I think a lot of people really just want to know that there are actual games that exist. So there's Townstar, which is kind of the same thing as Farmville. We already went over that. They have like a sweepstake, kind of like a casino-y type of thing, and they actually have like an actual casino type thing. Sweep it poker is what they call it. Whatever Meow Coin is, probably a bit of a cheesy game, but... Yeah, hey, well, I'm glad to know that YouTube is actually showing me to people, because sometimes it feels like it's not. But I know that that's just a bias that you can always get into when you're new to streaming. We've only been doing this show Monday through Friday for about 3.5 weeks. So we're still really new to the live streaming. So we got Dogs for Founders, Treasure Mapper, Mirandus, External Paradox, Legend Reborn, whatever that says, Voyager, Last Expedition, Dragon Strike, Superior, Legacy, Echoes of an Empire, Meow Match, and Meow Coin. And that looks like, oh, you can browse all games. They have more games than that. I'm actually decently impressed by how many games are over on Gala, because there is a lot of them. Oh, that was actually all the games. They just want to show it to you in a different format, right? So, what is Dogs for Founder? Let's click that for a second. And I think a lot of people want to know, how fun is the game, and can I make any money off it? Okay, so Dogs for Founders is a Telegram game. So let me make it so you can see what I see. Or maybe you can, I just got to wait for the stream to catch up. Always still a little sketched out on Telegram. I don't know what I'm opening half the time. Okay, so we already opened it. Let's go to play now. Let's launch it, and then I will make sure that you can see it. When it was Gala Games, I was really not expecting it to go to Telegram. So these crypto games came a long way since last run. Yeah, okay. So you know about last run. Were you around during the whole DeFi summer when people were just going absolutely nuts? I remember there was one coin called Zune. I was making an easy $250, $300 some days. I got up to the point where I was making that most days. For like $150 investment, I was making like $200-$300 every day. That was crazy. That's where really the gears turned and clicked, and I really thought, like, what the heck is this, play to earn gaming? It's really weird. I keep hitting play now and it won't open, which is strange because I open a ton of other things. So let me open a different game that I know actually works here. Try to figure out what the malfunction is on that other game. All right, so let's go back to Gala Games real quick. Let's look at a different one. I didn't realize that was a Telegram game. I hope they're not all like that. That would be really disappointing. Yeah, so a lot of them are like on Telegram. Now, a lot of people are playing those Telegram games, and I've earned some, tokens, but the actual token hasn't come out yet, so I have no idea what they're evaluated at. I'm like, I don't know if I want to start the bot. I don't know what the bot is. We are problem solving live on air. I apologize about that. So Townstar is the main game that I know Gala for. And yeah, it was absolutely wild. Mr. Clown Baby. Nice name, by the way. Definitely memorable. I'll definitely remember you if you pop into other streams. Are you mostly just interested in games, or have you actually been around in crypto? Do you hold some crypto? Do you have any interest in other things crypto related? Because the streams we normally do Monday through Friday can be about AI. They could be about Cardano ecosystem, like a specific ecosystem, different niches and narratives, and really raising our crypto IQ so that we can have more fun, but also when it comes to GameFi, have more fun, but also be better, smarter investors and people in crypto, right? So I want to see if one of these other games will actually play. It says public view. It's an MMO. All right, cool. So this one's not trying to take me to Telegram. I really download Gala launcher. Don't I already have that? All right, we don't have time for that. As you can see, when it comes to Gala, I mostly just play Townstar. So let's hop back over to our list of games. We'll get too sidetracked, even though I keep saying that, but I'm very sidetracked right now. I have not played many games. I assume you mean in blockchain. So I'll show you one that I hope they have like a YouTube channel or something that I used to play back in the day. I'm sure it's like completely destroyed by now. CryptoZoom. This is the one I was talking about. I was making $200-300 a day off of, and it was pretty bananas. I just want to see if do they even still have a website? No, I don't see a website associated with it. Let's go to Twitter. Kind of unfortunate the way this game just kind of fizzled out. But, I mean, at the time, it was like all of the games just fizzled out. I don't know if they rug pulled. I don't know what they did. So, yeah, the pin post is from December 12th, 2023. There's always been a couple of, like, rumbles that they're going to actually, you know, bring it back or something, and it never happens. So, no point in wasting a ton of time on this. There is a website. Yeah, the website's down. They're not paying for the website anymore. But anyways, if you ever went on this, you might know what I was talking about. So let's see. I want to maybe pick some of these that I know actually have games associated with them. Like here's one. WaxP is a layer 1 that is more specific to games, right? Chart looks terrible. These things I think were really way ahead of their time. So Wax blockchain, smart, scalable, sustainable, keyword sustainable. The chart didn't look sustainable, but I still have access to it. I still use it sometimes. I didn't. Oh, okay, a mobile. Oh, it's just a wallet. I thought they had an actual app for the games and stuff. That would be pretty cool. There were quite a few games over there. A lot of games are very still. Is two-dimensional the right word for it? Probably. It's still very two-dimensional. But they work with AWS, Prime Gaming, Epic Store, and Funko. There's another website that you use when you actually use the game. I was hoping to find that. WaxDAO is probably what it is. The Launchpad was probably more what you actually wanted to click on. Let's go back to the Launchpad, because that's probably where all the games and everything is, what I really want to show you. So these are all different things launching over here. Are they just tokens, though? Chicken. Like, is this an actual game? It's been a little while since I've interacted with the, whole Wax ecosystem. It's just like a lot of things to keep up with all at one time, and there were better games out there in blockchain, so I went to those instead. This is still not the website I want. How many hours could I spend preparing this stream every day? A ridiculous amount. But they have, an NFT hive where you can buy all the different NFTs for all their different games. Was it Wax Labs? This is just proposals. All right. I'm spinning my wheels here a little bit trying to show you something cool. I know it's out there. I just don't know exactly where it is. There are all kinds of different things built on Wax. And what else are they on there? Okay, so they're on Ethereum, and Wax itself is its own blockchain. It's got like 0 fees. It is really easy to use. I know a lot of people will tell you that 0 fees pretty much means, an easy to attack blockchain. They even have play to earn as one of their narratives on here. Really annoyed that I can't show you what I want to show you. See if it does. Just coin market cap. Anyways, Wax is one. I'll have that maybe a little more ready next Friday. Ready to go there. So Mythos is one that we covered not too long ago. Sitting at 8 cents right now. Mythos Foundation. They give it the GameFi kind of stamp of approval there. Let's go to their website. The future of Web3 gaming. And what kills me is that we will look at a lot of these types of websites and it'll say future of Web3 gaming and they'll have no games. No, I haven't. You'll have to tell me more about that. Does it have a token associated with it that would make it easy for me to look up? Or if you're able to drop the link to it in, say, the Discord or something like that, that'd be really cool. So Mythos Foundation, real quick, just give you an idea. Along with Mythos blockchain ecosystem, the DAO, have established simplify, standardize, and democratize Web3 gaming. Don't think that was really said very well. So where are the games? You know, I come to these type of things a lot of times and I'm like, yo, where are the actual games though? Stop talking about it and be about it. I don't think Mythos has been out very long. Could be wrong on that. Let's take a look. Yeah, since 2022, so long enough for sure. And then here's their token distribution. Yeah, where are the games? Using Mythos. So a lot of these things that are even considered GameFi are a little bit more, you know, infrastructure. And in big games, like we want big triple layer games, you know, to do really well, AAA games, but they have to be built out and there has to be the infrastructure for them. Okay, well that's really interesting. And that's why I love to build a community like this. I hope you come back to other streams or at least stick in the Discord and we could chat about some other gaming because there are so many games I still don't know about. So he says, the put on AVAX. Maybe you meant the pit? A real-time player versus player. I mean, it makes sense. It's called the pit, where I guess you would throw a bunch of gladiators. They would fight each other. Play-to-earn.com. So is this it? Or is this something else? Because it says play-to-earn, so I could see it being actually crypto. Yep, supported tokens, Avalanche. Let's hit play now. See what happens. Oh, we can't reach this. The type of... Okay. For whatever reason, it doesn't want to let me go to that website. I don't know if I have the right thing. Let's go to Twitter. Is this old? This has been around for a long time. Yeah, it looks like it's not around anymore. I was hoping to play some kind of live here. How long ago did you play this game? It looks pretty cool. It's very, I don't know, reminds me a little of RuneScape. I never know how far behind the actual stream is. So, want to give you a chance to answer. Also, typically, I do in between an hour and a half. So it's only a year old, and their website's already down, you say? Here's the little video here.
Abilities has a cooldown of 9 seconds.
What is going
Let's
on?
dive into them. The first is Ice Spikes, the easiest one to use. When you press one, it summons ice spikes from the ground that damage anyone in the area around you. It deals 18 damage. It is best used when your opponent has closed the distance especially. It is another ranged spell that you know how to fight.
All right, I think you guys get the gist of it.
If you're new to the game,
Wasn't the most interactive thing. It's been around for a year. I will have to ask the guy what happened. Okay, so you know the guy who made it personally. Hopefully he didn't rug everybody and you know him personally. Not that I would care. I mean, I do care about people rugging, but that's other people's business. So that looks pretty cool, but yeah, it's always amazing how quick things come and go. A lot of people don't have the staying power to really stay long term. Back over here on Townstar, and as you can see, you basically, if you're not on it sometimes, like I clicked sell to that item and you can see that the depot truck whatever returns in 30 seconds and it still had time on it. It doesn't happen right away. So if I like click to sell something and then I go away, it won't do anything. But then at the same time, like all the crops and everything will still grow. So I don't know. It's kind of strange. Oh, he didn't. All right, cool. That's good to know. Maybe he just needs to, change whoever his provider is, probably Amazon Web Services or whoever he's doing his website through. Because if he gets that back up, let us know and we'll check it out. I'm a small channel, so my promoting it probably won't go all that far, but if it's cool, I'll continue to talk about it. Here's one that I really wanted to play was this Vexy Village. Now it's coming back to me. Yeah, this Vexy Village actually has a mobile app. I did download it and start playing it. Totally forgot all about that. All the different games and stuff you find, you get into, and there's just not enough hours in the day. And I have too many things to do to always remember. But it was pretty interesting. It was a rather simple game. Looked like they were still building it and they had still launched it. When I got into it, it was literally still in early access. Looks like they're done with early access. And then, of course, there's all kinds of NFTs and stuff that you can buy for these different games to help you in whatever way. And you can put together whole strategies. Now, one thing that I always think is interesting is that a lot of these, like, say you found this game, right, and you're like, oh, I wonder if I can make money off of it. Let me sit here for 5-6 hours and go through all the little details and figure out the tokenomics and economy. You could literally just go ask ChatGPT, and it'll literally break down the game, how it works, what you should buy or shouldn't buy, different strategies that people are using. For a brand new game, a lot of times they might not have all the information, but if you go look at like Townstar and ask it, for $200-$300, can I actually win some gala and earn gala by playing this game? And it'll give you a breakdown of exactly what NFTs to use. It's amazing sometimes how much, you would think that ChatGPT wouldn't be dialed in on something like that, and it really is. Is it because it knows? Is it because somebody's writing detailed vlogs somewhere about it? Or blogs? I don't know. It could be. So we're kind of burning down here. I've had one heck of a day. Matter of fact, I've had one heck of a week. But I appreciate anybody who's here. Hop in the Discord. Hit that like, share, subscribe. It's Friday. I know a lot of people are not here. Deep diving and researching. And in my opinion, as we move forward, that's why we're winning. Are you winning in this crypto world? Are you having fun? So many different things. If you don't like where you're at in life, then move. Do something different, because you're not a tree. You're not stuck in one place. So if you feel like you're stuck in one place, just know that you're not stuck in one place. Close a bunch of these things out and end on the bubble maps. Okay. Clown Baby says he doesn't know the guy in real life, but he's the arena, which is SoFi built on AVAX. Yeah. So real quick before I even hop off, we just did a stream on AVAX, kind of deep dive in the ecosystem, of course, going over what AVAX is. I've been involved, not literally, but I've been involved with the ecosystem by using it. Of AVAX, at least a year ago, I was doing a lot of stuff over there. Was a little disappointed to see the enthusiasm kind of fall out of the bottom fall out on the enthusiasm there for AVAX. I hope that they're going to get some movement soon. A lot of people who I talk to and stuff think that AVAX is going to be moving a lot here soon. Does that just mean the price moves? I want to see the ecosystem move, right? But I guess first we need the money to flow in and the attention and things to be built out. When the attention comes, the money, will come, and then the actual, products will get better and better and better. So I hope that happens for AVAX. I'm always rooting for any kind of GameFi, but of course most big ecosystems, except for Polkadot. I do not like Polkadot. I will probably never do like a Polkadot ecosystem stream. Yeah, that's a subject for another day. I really don't like Polkadot. but it is what it is. I'm transparent. So this is Crypto Underground. Stay underground. Stay crypto, and I will catch you in the next live stream. Yeah, have a great day, man. I hope to see you over in the Discord.